Back at you with another one. And we want to take a look at what's happening in the trial of Jonathan Majors, where he's been accused of assaulting his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend that we see here, Jabbari, Grace Jabbari, that's her name, Grace Jabbari. Before we get into that, take a moment to go ahead and like this video up. That's very important to help us grow the channel. I really appreciate that. Now we're getting this video from Courtroom Insiders. She was in the courtroom, and this is another guy who's following the case. And I'm getting this video from a Twitter page called Blobette. That's the name of the page. All right. So I want to give that attribution, and we want to get into this because what we were told is that he beat this white girl a la an O.J. Simpson or something like that. But I was telling you almost from day one, from a couple of days after this whole incident happened, that he was falsely accused and that the evidence against him was spurious. And then we were later able to show, in fact, the evidence demonstrated that the injuries to Grace Jabbari did not happen before she got back to the apartment where she was by herself and injured herself, and that she was out clubbing that night. That's what that picture is right there on the thumbnail. She was clubbing after the incident of being with Jonathan Majors happened, and he's the one who called the police because she was actually assaulting him. And so we gave you all that information over time as it's been presented. So now we're in court, and Grace Jabbari is testifying herself, and she's giving evidence against herself. And while the major media made sure to make it be known that he was being charged with beating on a white girl, it's radio silence as the facts come out in court. Let's listen.
She says she grabbed the phone with two hands, turned her back because she was in the seat. Okay, so if you're...
To give you a little bit of context, they were riding along. A notification came up on his phone with something like, "I can't wait to kiss you again," or something of that nature, that caused her to be like, who's that? Who's texting you? Are you cheating? Whatever. And she snatches his phone out of his hands. Let's understand right there, that is an assault. Right there, on her behalf. She initiated physical contact and assault.
If you're in the if you're in the seat as the passenger, she was behind the driver. So she was behind the driver, he was behind the passenger seat. And she grabbed the phone with two hands. This is important.
Okay.
Turned her back to him, facing her door, and was basically strong arming the phone, kung fu grip style. And he was trying to pry it from her hands. Those were her words. He was trying to pry the phone from my hands. He was not successful. So then she goes into trying to claim that he bent her arm back, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She says she hit him. She
says she, did you say she says she hit him?
Yes, she did. The phone locked that I got.
See, this is her testimony. This is Grace Jabbari's testimony about what happened. She admits aggressing. She admits physical contact that she initiates. She admits hitting him. But somehow he gets charged. The police did arrest her, but the DA refused to charge her even off of the police arrest about 5 months. Well, it was a couple of months ago when they finally got around to arresting her. They would refuse to arrest her even though she initiated the violence, but instead stick with only charging Jonathan Majors, even though he's the victim who was aggressed against. But it gets worse. Let's see if that part is in this second video. Let me see. We're kind of moving forward in the conversation.
Okay, so then there's two blows.
Hit his arms and shoulders. These were her words, so I have them in quotes. She grabbed the phone with both hands and turned to the right. That's what I told you. She grabbed the phone. She said he kept trying to get the phone. When her attorney asked her how long the whole altercation was, she was like, it felt long.
Oh, it felt long. What a prepared answer.
Right, it felt long.
So, and check this out. This is the direct. This is the prosecution's direct examination. This is not the cross-examination by Jonathan Majors' lawyers. This is not the defense. This is the prosecution's case against Jonathan Majors. Is the so-called victim admitting she did all the aggressing. And these folks have the nerve to have this man up on charges and in a trial. Unbelievable.
She denied scratching him, but admitted to hitting his arm. Then he ordered the car to stop. He ordered the driver to stop the car. So at that point,
he ordered she didn't say, stop the car, I'm under duress extremely, Jonathan is overbearing.
And they kept asking, they said, well, what did the driver say? What did the driver do? She kept saying she didn't remember the driver. Wasn't paying attention to the driver. So I think she's setting the stage to not even be able to ID the driver.
So now she's Ronald Reagan in I can't recall. There's clearly a racism component here where they're not going to let another famous black man get another one of their precious white women like OJ did. She even looks like Nicole Simpson, same kind of blonde, even favors her direction of the line of physical features. So clearly the New York's attorney's office is playing off the trope of the marauding black man who wants to just rape and pillage all of the white women, a la W.D. Griffin. So we see what we get with the white New York liberals and what kind of treatment we still get. But the bigger issue here is the gender inequity, where it is okay for a woman to assault a man and for a man to even defend himself, retrieve his property. He has no rights that a woman is not allowed to transgress. No matter what, the laws in this country are so bent against men, and there's not equal protection under the law. And I really think we need a movement, a real movement about how the law is very unequally and unevenly applied against men. There is not gender disparity against women. In this gynocracy, there is a clear and distinct gender disparity against men, where the witness who's supposed to be the victim can get on the stage, admit to all of the aggression, admit to initiating the violence, and they could somehow be the victim, and a man could be charged, not even for hitting back, for retrieving his property, one, and two, doesn't get into it in that video we just watched, but they have video from buildings outside of where this was all happening, where Jonathan had her stop the cab, as the lady just said. He gets out of the cab. She jumps out after him. He puts her back in the cab that he's paying for. It's not even a cab. It's like they paid for a drive. They paid for a car. He paid for a car for the evening. He puts her back in the car, and he's walking away. How is he a violent abuser guilty of assault? He did what men are supposed to do. Even after she assaulted him, he's walking away. She still wouldn't stay in the car. He literally runs away. This is on video. I haven't seen the video. I don't think they've shown it publicly, but it's been described by people who are in the courtroom that he literally runs away. She runs after him, and he's on trial. This, brothers, here's the point for us to take lessons from, is the moment a woman shows you any type of aggressive behavior, any type of willingness to get physical with you. I'm sure this is not the first time that she got physical in any kind of way. If she shows you any inklings or instances, or has a personality and a belief system that is okay for a woman to hit a man, that if she feels upset, she has the right to slap you or hit you in any kind of way, you don't deal with that woman. It's over the first time and for all times, because you will not win, not with the law. And they will use the law against you. She admitted the night of that he didn't do anything to her. 19 times the police had to coerce it out of her to get her to say something against him. But now, because at that time she still wanted to get back with him, but now that he's not only cheated on her but rejected her and doesn't want to get married anymore, they were supposed to be getting married. She testified to that. They were talking about getting married earlier that day before this incident happened. Now that he's rejected her, she's weaponizing this incident as revenge. She's weaponizing the anti-man laws, the law that goes against these laws that are anti-men, and these prosecution offices prosecutorial officers that are against men, that are anti-male, that are pro-feminist theory. She's weaponizing that against him as we've been. That's what they'll all do. You let her hit you now, and you think it's cute, and y'all make up and wrestle and have great sex off the great negative energy and all this, that, and other, and you think, oh yeah, I like this kind of rowdiness in my life or whatever, and you think it's fun and games until it gets really real, until you cheat on her, or until she thinks you did something and she is tired of you or you reject her. That's the worst thing, because now a woman scorned, then she's going to weaponize the justice system against you, the injustice system. She's going to weaponize the legal system against you, and she's going to be empowered to do so. You got to stay clear of these chicks. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to come back for more. Like us up and help us expand this channel. I appreciate it. Jabbari 2007. I'm out.